First Lady Michelle Obama is on a mission to stamp out obesity in America. But a Fox 6 investigation finds the federal government's own anti-hunger program may be feeding the problem.
Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson finds some food stamp retailers sell nothing but junk food. He joins us now.
Yeah, Ted and Mary, it's a $1 billion program in Wisconsin alone, and that money is supposed to help struggling families put healthy food on the table. But a lot of it is going for potato chips, candy bars, and soft drinks. In fact, we found some food stamp retailers where junk food is virtually the only food for sale.
I see your helpers. Thanks.
In the heart of Milwaukee, Larry Adams and his team of young helpers at Walnut Way are sowing the seeds of good health.
We have beans, we have snap peas, we have spinach, we have cucumbers.
They supply fresh produce to urban retail stores, including the Fondy Farmers Market,
$8,
which has been accepting food stamps since 2003.
Have a good day.
It's extremely important that everyone has access to fresh, locally grown, seasonal produce.
They're attempting to fill a void in economically depressed neighborhoods where healthy food is often hard to come by.
What can you buy here for just like the regular chips?
Candy, soda.
The truth is, some stores hardly have anything healthy for sale at all.
You guys are mostly a liquor store, right?
Yeah, liquor store, but we have some food too.
Okay.
You know, like chips, milk, soda, juice.
Okay. Commonly known as food stamps, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is a federal program aimed at making sure low-income families have food on the table. In Wisconsin, it's called Food Share, and benefits are distributed electronically on a Quest card. It works like a debit card and can be used at thousands of authorized retailers all over Wisconsin.
I got 6 kids, so trying to make it work.
Tanya Spencer has a Quest card, and like most of the program's participants, she uses it to shop at full-service grocery stores.
Pick and save, Aldi's, just that's all.
But according to the USDA, 16% of all SNAP benefits are redeemed at mom-and-pop corner stores, gas stations, and yes, even liquor stores.
I just don't think that's right.
Linda Garvey called the Fox 6 investigators to ask why the liquor store in her West Allis neighborhood is allowed to accept Quest, considering that under the program's rules, you can't buy alcohol or tobacco with the card.
Food stamps are to make sure kids aren't going hungry, not to make sure I can drink beer and smoke cigarettes.
When we took our hidden cameras into county beer and liquor, we didn't find the nutritional staples needed to feed a family either. In fact, virtually the only food we could find was a rack of potato chips, a cooler full of ice cream sandwiches, and a few boxes of cornflakes.
And no milk unless you're going to have Captain Morgan's on your cornflakes.
El Charro on Milwaukee's south side is another Quest retailer with refrigerators full of booze, juices, and soft drinks, racks of chips and candy, but just one shelf for milk, eggs, and hot dogs, and about a dozen frozen pizzas.
When you have bread, usually where is it?
Can we put some bread here?
At Sundeep Liquor in northwest Milwaukee,
You can buy juice, chips, gum, whatever.
we found plenty of junk food.
So where do you have some of that other stuff now, like the milk and dairy and vegetables and that sort of thing?
Milk and dairy and vegetables right now. I don't know. Let me see.
But nothing else.
It is frustrating that their system has allowed this to happen.
Earlier this year, Representative Samantha Kirkman requested a full-scale audit of the state's food share program, and she says our investigation is just one more reason to take a closer look.
I believe this program is to provide money to allow people to have food, to keep themselves, to buy, bread, other meat so they can, make some hamburgers and, and those types of things. It's not to go out and buy soda and other things that that people who are on a budget sometimes don't even purchase.
Do you think that stores that only sell potato chips and drinks and things and liquor and tobacco and things, do you think they ought to be able to take Quest cards?
Yeah, because sometimes that's the quickest store you can get to. So, sometimes you just want to grab something and just hold you over until you can get to a regular store.
I think the larger issue is accessibility.
State Senator Lena Taylor says Quest users ought to be able to buy some junk food now and then, but she wants them to have healthier choices, especially those who have no choice but to walk to the nearest corner store.
One could argue that standard, at the very least, could be lifted to say that you have to at least have
some nutritional items.
Actually, federal regulations already require it. According to USDA, participating retailers must sell at least 3 varieties of 4 basic staples: meats, poultry or fish, bread or cereal, vegetables or fruits, and dairy products. And at least 2 of those food groups must include perishable items.
Do you have any kind of, milk, bread, meats, anything like that available?
We do usually have milk, but we're out of it. I mean, milk's usually not there.
On one visit, we did find a couple of gallons of milk in the fridge at County Beer and Liquor, but on 2 other occasions, nothing more than juice and soda.
And we've been here twice, and there hasn't been milk or bread, and it's just been coincidence that you've been out those times. You're not out of chips. You guys run out of chips too?
Yeah.
You do, because you're not out of blow pops, Kit Kats. You got plenty of those.
USDA guidelines say perishable foods must be available on a daily basis.
Juices and chips are the only things I have right now.
Then again, just because it's required,
It's like we don't pay your bread because nobody uses
doesn't mean it's being enforced.
We have some guidelines in place, but if they're not following up on those guidelines, what does it mean? It means nothing. It's just a piece of paper that has some guidelines on it.
If you're wondering how much of the $1 billion in food stamp benefits in Wisconsin goes toward junk food, the answer is nobody knows. Even though it's all done with electronic benefit cards, the USDA tells me they do not keep track of what types of foods are purchased under the program.
Well, earlier this year, we had a story of New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg asking the president to allow New York to ban the use of those cards or food stamps to buy soda. Where does that stand now?
That is still just a proposal in New York City. It hasn't really gone anywhere yet, but it has been harshly attacked already by soft drink and food industry lobbyists who call it unfair to food stamp recipients. Mayor Bloomberg says New Yorkers spend $135 million a year on sugar-sweetened drinks. He calls it counterproductive to the very mission of the food stamp program. By the way, if you would like to read the USDA's minimum standards for food stamp retailers, we have that as well as information on how to report food stamp fraud. That's all at fox6now.com. And be sure to send us your tips by calling 414-586-2777 or shoot me an email, theinvestigators@fox6now.com.
And the stores here can't be fined, but they can be kicked out of the program.
That is my understanding. Yeah, that's right.
Brian Polson, great job. Thanks. Mary.